Good morning. Happy Tuesday, sixth graders. So we have read, oh, look how frizzy my hair is up there. We have read The Myth of Kronos. We've read the articles of key elements of mythology. We planned an essay comparing or putting together the two texts. Today I want to look at an example essay. You don't have to write it today. We're going to look at an example, and then we're going to read the story of Prometheus, because your writing assignment for Thursday and Friday will be to write that same essay, but not using Kronos, using Prometheus. I hope that makes sense. So we're in the packet on page 5. If you take a look at page 5, what you have here is a model analytical essay. You know, that's just a fancy way of saying analyze, explain it. So this is a model. This is your example. Okay? And remember, this is teacher created. So you're going to see a lot of bigger sentences, harder vocabulary, but it's still a good answer explaining or writing this essay that we planned yesterday. What elements do you see in Kronos and what is the theme? So what I'd like you to do right now is pause your video and take a highlighter if you have it, or just a pencil, and underline every place you see textual evidence. So you want to read through what I mean by textual evidence. Evidence from the text, things that are copied from the text. So you can see how much of it there is in here. Okay, so pause the video, go ahead and highlight. What? Go talk to your dad about that. Okay, so you probably have these 4 pieces of evidence highlighted. Let's take a look at the introduction paragraph. Myths are stories that explain the world and humans' experiences. They tell the story of the values and beliefs that are central to a culture and a human race. All myths contains elements of mythology to help develop a theme. Well, I'll tell you right now, this here was stolen. It was stolen right from the beginning of the first article, Key Elements of Mythology, because that's a great sentence you can start with. The story of Kronos is a classic myth that contains both key elements of mythology and an important theme. In the myth, the 2 important key elements are presented. They are, so here are our answers, non-human characters that show human qualities, as well as characters showing a struggle for power. These key elements help to communicate the theme of the power of a mother's love for her children. So that's our claim, or turning the question around. Now here we're going to talk about the elements of mythology that we found. The non-human characters that show emotion and the struggle for power. All myths contain significant elements of mythology. In the myth of Kronos, the text says, "But Rhea mourned. Her 5 sisters who had married 5 other Titans were surrounded by their Titan children while she was all alone." That's our evidence. Now I'm going to analyze it or explain it. One significant element of mythology is that the characters are often non-human, but they have human emotions and qualities. Rhea is a non-human Titan, but she has the human emotions such as sadness and loneliness. Here's my next piece of evidence. In the Kronos text, it also says, "Then she wrapped a stone in baby clothes and gave it to her husband to swallow instead of her son." My analysis. Many myths contain a struggle for power. The struggle can be between members of the same family. This shows a wife tricking her husband in order to save her child. These elements of mythology help define the story as a classic myth. Conclusion. So guys, we followed the claim, evidence analysis, conclusion that we've been writing since September. Body paragraph 2 is about the theme of the mother's love. Claim. An important theme in the myth of Kronos is a mother's love for her children. Mother Earth's love for her other children is so powerful that it makes her want to destroy her son Kronos. So I just had to add another sentence in there just to give a little more information. Here's my first evidence. The text says, "But Kronos did not set his monstrous brothers free, and Mother Earth was angry with him and plotted his downfall." Also, Rhea's love for her children is what makes her trick her husband. In the myth, it says, Kronos was fooled and swallowed the stone, and the little god Zeus was spirited away to a secret cave on the island of Crete. Both of these examples show the power of a mother's love for her children. In conclusion, in the myth of Kronos, the key elements of non-human characters having human emotions, combined with a struggle for power, develop the theme of a mother's struggle to save her children. Rhea's overwhelming sadness and loneliness drive her to trick Kronos so that she is able to save her children from being eaten. This classic myth shows how the mother's struggle to save her children became the origin of gods in Greek culture. So one thing I did include in the conclusion, if you look back at your plan, how the details connect to the theme. Okay, so those key details of the women having feelings and also the struggle for power, they kind of motivated the mothers to get revenge or to protect their children. So that's how I made that connection. That's probably your hardest part here. Okay. Now again, this is a teacher-created essay, so there's some hard vocabulary in there, but I think you'll see that the plan, the outline is the same as what you've been writing. On pages 6 and 7, it's the exact same essay, except you can see we've added arrows and underlined things so that you can, again, just see the different pieces and how they fit together. Okay? And it continues on to the back here on page 7. Once you've taken these notes, I'm going to post the next video, which is the story of Prometheus. I think you'll like that one. Don't forget to check in and ask any questions that you might have. I'm here all day to help.